Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about AEW Full Gear 2021 pay-per-view. Folks, this was an excellent show, majority of it anyway. Some of it really wasn't necessary to be on the card. I just think like the Cody Rhodes, I even mentioned this, Cody Rhodes and Pac versus Malachi Black and Andrade wasn't really necessary on this pay-per-view. This could have been saved for like a Dynamite episode in the main event of a show or some shit like that. I didn't particularly care for this match all that much. And once again, Cody Rhodes and Pac win this match against Andrade and Malachi Black. So Malachi Black suffers another loss. He wasn't exactly the one pin, and Pac picked up the victory. But in that match, I would say was a 3 out of 5 stars. So that match wasn't exactly the greatest match in the world. It was pretty average, probably a main event Dynamite match, more importantly than anything else. But let's just go ahead and go through the match card. So let's start off with the very first match. The very first match on this card was MJF and Darby Allin. They actually deserved a lot higher on this card, but granted, with the way things went as the pay-per-view went along, the crowd got more and more less rowdy for these matches. So I guess the opener was probably the best choice for them to do. But at the same time, the value of this match and what they did in this match was just unfucking believable. I personally felt that this match deserved a little bit more of a push on the card, but for what it was, it's fine. I'm not going to bitch or complain about it too much. I'm definitely giving this match a 4 out of 5 stars. This match was excellent. MJF leading into this pay-per-view said he would beat Darby Allin with a headlock takeover. He managed to do that, but unfortunately he managed to do it with a little bit of cheating added to it. He hit him with the diamond ring that he won earlier several years ago, the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and he hit him square in the fucking face with that ring and then performed that maneuver and got the 1, 2, 3. Now, I would have to say that was fucking amazing and cool as shit what they did there. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was awesome. That was just really cool. I enjoyed that. Also, a lot of things that Darby Allin did in this match was completely nuts. He did a coffin drop on the side apron, landed on his back, missed MJF completely. MJF suffered a little bit of pain in his knee, but I gotta admit, Darby Allin suffered a lot more pain in this matchup than anyone else out of the two in this match. But man, Darby Allin can take a beating and keep on ticking, man. Guy's pretty fucking impressive. To be able to absorb that amount of pain in a match and still keep going is amazing. But yeah, this match gets a 4 out of 5 stars, definitely. The next match on the card, I believe, was a tag team title match. We had the Lucha Brothers retaining the tag team titles against FTR. They utilized Eddie Guerrero's Three Amigos and also the Frog Splash, which I thought was very impressive. Kind of felt that match should have ended with the Frog Splash, but later on in the show they actually do that with Chris Jericho, which I'll get into. That's like the co-main event of the entire show. But yeah, they did that, and that was pretty cool. honoring the passing of Eddie Guerrero from November 13th of 2005, which I actually completely forgot that he passed away on November 13th. I was a bit shocked by that. And I kept wondering why the hell they kept honoring Eddie Guerrero in this pay-per-view. And then I was like, did he pass? Was he born on this date or something? So I looked it up, and I knew that he passed away in November of 2005. I just didn't know the specific date. And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. So that made sense. But yeah, the Lucha Brothers retained the tag team titles, which I'm thankful of. I didn't want to see them lose the tag team titles to FTR, having FTR win these tag titles. This match was a 3.5. It was pretty solid, good, entertaining tag team matchup. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. So I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next match after that was Bryan Danielson versus Miro. This was a hard-hitting matchup. These two guys beat the holy hell out of each other, and this led to Bryan Danielson winning the match and becoming the #1 contender. I did mention earlier this week that if Bryan Danielson wins, that might be a bad sign for Adam Hangman Page. Well, we'll get into that in just a moment once we get to the main event. But this match really was fucking good. A really good match. 3 straight matches in a row that was superb and excellent in every way, shape, or form. Great stuff. Really good stuff. Following that and Bryan Danielson won the match, of course, I already mentioned that. This I'm giving a 4 out of 5 stars as well. Good match between these two guys. We then had a 6-man Falls Count Anywhere match with the Super Click with Adam Cole, Bebe, and the Young Bucks going against the Jungle Express, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy versus fucking Christian Cage. This was a good match. I mean, it wasn't superb like the other 3 matches. I mean, it was hardcore hitting. These guys did some outrageous shit to each other and pretty brutal stuff. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars to be generous. And it was definitely not a bad match at all. Fortunately, Super Click loses this match. I thought they were going to win, and I thought Christian Cage was going to take the L in this matchup, but unfortunately, that was not the case. So, there you go on that. Next thing on the card, Jungle Boy connected with a concerto and got the 1, 2, 3 outside the ring up the ramp. So that's how that match ended. I think it was to Matt Jackson or Nick Jackson, one of the 2 Young Bucks. Following that, I believe it was... So, the next match on the card was actually Cody and Pac versus Black and Andrade. Like I said earlier, this match wasn't exactly the best match in the world. Again, this should have been on a fucking main event of Dynamite. But personally, Cody spent most of the time out of the match. He got hit with a Black Mass roundhouse kick by Malachi Black and stood out of the ring most of the time doing absolutely nothing, leaving Pac to do everything by himself. Personally, I kind of feel like this is Cody taking his heel turn. JR and the commentary team are dumbfounded on this whole, hating on Cody Rhodes and everything else, and they don't quite understand it. And I found that kind of interesting that they were addressing that they didn't like the crowd booing Cody at all, which to a certain extent, I think there's valid reason, but there shouldn't be any reason they should be booing him. But if you really think about it, he deserves some kind of displeased by the fans. He's been playing the face gimmick far too long now. It's not working. He plays better as a heel. He doesn't have that same character he had in Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling. New Japan Wrestling and Ring of Honor, oh man, he was fucking awesome as that character. And he could still play a face later on with that role. But right now, this role is just so fucking boring. And literally, the whole show is practically almost focused on him. The only thing missing is the World Championship. I mean, this guy is put in every major important portion of a show known to man. And there is such other talent on this roster that could use that airtime. I personally feel if he doesn't turn heel, get off television, man, and retire as an in-ring competitor. Do something else. Don't do the John Cena route or the Roman Reigns route as a face. Because, brother, it ain't going to work. It sucks. And it really is stale. It's boring. It's not something I enjoy of Cody Rhodes. I would enjoy him better playing as an anti-hero. First playing as a heel and then becoming an anti-hero role. I'd love to see him play the dickhead heel role and win back the opportunity of becoming a world champion. I think that would be another great thing for him to be able to do. But unfortunately, everything they're doing with him is just annoying. It really is. And I think a heel run and him being world champion at some point down the line to have a youngster take the title off of him would be the best thing for him to do. So he would get a world championship reign out of it. The fans would hate his fucking guts for a reason because he's playing a prick. And he would be 10 times entertaining. So I'm not quite sure what he's trying to accomplish here with playing this good guy role character. But to me, it ain't working. I think it sucks, personally. But whatever. Anyway, moving on. Again, like I said, Pac picked up the victory by pinning Andrade with the Black Arrow and getting the 1-2-3. Again, I said that this match was, I believe I said it was a 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, it was just an average match. There's nothing special about this match at all. The next match after that was the Women's Championship. Tay Conti versus Britt Baker for the women's title. This was an okay match, but I wasn't impressed with this match at all. I didn't even really pay attention to it. It was about 15 minutes long, and Britt Baker retained the title. Nothing special took place. It was nothing unique about it. It was an okay match, but it was nothing special about it. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. That's about it. This match really didn't take the cake for me. I've seen Britt Baker have a lot better matches than this. This was just average at best. This could have been on a Rampage or a fucking Dynamite episode if you really wanted to go that route, because this match did not speak pay-per-view quality to me. I think the match that she had with Thunder Rosa in that Lights Out match was better than this shit that we saw tonight. But Tay Conti was not bad. I'm only saying it's shit because of the match wasn't like pay-per-view quality. And my attitude is, if you have a good match, but it's not like pay-per-view quality with a show this long, please get it off the show. Put it on a Dynamite episode. Give them the airtime in the main event of an episode or something. But don't waste our time when we're spending $49.99 for a pay-per-view and give us that. We could use I would be willing to pay $49.99 for a 3-hour pay-per-view than 4 hours. I mean, please. It's bad enough that we have to sit through fucking 5 hours of WWE programming when it's just the main roster, and if you throw the NXT in, that's 7 hours altogether. You're fucking killing us, man. Thankfully I don't do that shit. Other people do, and I think they're nuts for it, but whatever. But yeah, personally, I feel if you don't have a pay-per-view quality match, don't put it on the card. This card had a ton of fucking matches. This had 10 fucking matches on the card. Whatever happened to having a total of 6? Well, what's wrong with that? Can we have like maybe 6 matches, each match going about 20 minutes a pop? I mean, that's and you're counting the entrances and everything else. That's a decent amount of matches, and then you're having 20 to 30 minute matches on every match. That's gonna give you a lot of time put in. 3 to 4 hours easy with no problem. I don't know, man. I think it's a little overkill. I know that they don't have a pay-per-view every month, which I understand why they would do 4 hours instead of 3, but come on, please. We don't need all this stuff put on a show. It's a little ridiculous. That's the only real rant I have about this pay-per-view. Other than that, this pay-per-view is pretty damn good, but let's keep moving on. We had CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. Folks, this was a good match. This lived up to the hype for the only 2 weeks it had of a build going into it, and it was good. And this thing probably will continue after what happened at the end of this match. CM Punk ends up getting the win, though, with the GTS and gets the 1-2-3. After the match was over, CM Punk goes to shake his hand, and Eddie Kingston looks at him and says, basically gives him the big fuck you, I ain't, and walks away, pissed off at the cameraman. Cameraman's getting really close to him as he's walking up the ramp, shoves him out of the way, and we actually get a camera shot of him shoving the cameraman out of the way while it's panned on him. So I thought that was great. I really am looking forward to these guys continuing this story, and I hope they do. This match was a 4 out of 5 stars, easy. This was grit, a lot of, these guys were bleeding. I mean, this was not even a hardcore match. They were both biting each other on the fucking head. They were doing everything known to man possible. Like I said before, this match should have been a fucking street fight. A no-holds-barred match that would go out in the actual streets. And we see these guys brawling out there, too. So, that's just the way I think that the match should have been. But we did get a street fight. And this was a 5-on-5 street fight match. Dan Lambert, Junior Dos Santos, Andre Arlovsky. We also had the Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page going up against all the members of the Inner Circle. This was okay. I'm not gonna shit on it, but it did not belong in a co-main event. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. I liked the ending. I thought it was great. Chris Jericho won with Eddie Guerrero's finishing maneuver, the 5-star frog splash, and got the 1-2-3 on Dan Lambert. I enjoyed that. But I will admit, I didn't really care for this match actually taking place. But it was okay. It was fun. It was enjoyable. But it wasn't, again, it wasn't pay-per-view. To me, it belonged on a Dynamite episode. It really did not scream pay-per-view to me. They just had a couple of matches on this card that just really didn't need to be there. But majority of the matches were really good. I'm not going to discredit this pay-per-view or say it's shit in any way, shape, or form. As you guys can tell, I've given every match nothing lower than a 3 out of 5 stars, so that's not too bad. But personally, man, this match does not belong on the pay-per-view. I mean, it was good, it was hardcore-like, but it wasn't needed. I think the 6-man tag team match was more hardcore than this. These guys were using sticks, hockey sticks, kendo sticks, garbage cans, blah, blah, blah. The match that the Super Click and the Jungle Express with Christian Cage was more street fight like than anything else. They were all over the place. This street fight was not like that. I didn't see them going too much into the crowd except for what Santana and Ortiz was doing with Ethan Page, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was Santana who was doing something with Ethan Page, or it was Scorpio Sky, one of those two, and he threw him in the crowd, and then he did something with him by running over the barricade and into the crowd as well. But that was about the only interaction that they really had with the crowd, personally. Christian Cage and I believe it was Adam Cole, they were fighting up in the stands, practically. I mean, the fans were literally right next to the whole entire thing, and they almost looked like they were going to leave the fucking arena and go on the outside where you can go get your food and shit. So, personally, I thought that 6-man tag team match was more street fight-like than this match was. This match, I'm giving a 3 out of 5 stars. I'm not going to give it a 3.5 even, because this match was... It was alright, but it didn't entertain me that much. I don't know how it entertained you, but if it did, great. I'm glad you spent your money and enjoyed the match. For me, I could have cared less if this match was on the card. Dan Lambert, to me, is great on the microphone, terrible wrestler, and lately he's been acting a little childish. I mean, he's stomping his feet around, he's getting all frustrated. When he first came in, he was definitely really good. He's still really good on the mic, playing a heel role, but he's acting like a kid. When he doesn't get his way, he's stomping his feet like a child. It seems so WWE-like to me, it's ridiculous. So to me, I'm not particularly a huge fan of Dan Lambert right now, based on the fact that he's acting very childlike when he's not getting his way for the last couple of weeks. I will still admit that he has been really good on microphone, plays a great heel as a manager, but please keep him the fuck away from the ring. He was terrible in this fucking match, didn't do a freaking thing. He slapped Chris Jericho a couple of times in the fucking head, and that was it. So this match gets a 3 out of 5 stars. We next had Jay Lethal show up. I was very happy for this signing. I thought this was excellent. Them picking Jay Lethal out of the bunch of people from Ring of Honor was a very smart decision. The only thing else they could do is put Jonathan Gresham on this in this promotion and have these two as a tag team. Because as a tag team, they are fucking superb. I seen how they are in Ring of Honor, and they had the tag team titles at one point. They were fucking good. Jay Lethal, personally, as where he would stand in this company right now, I would say mid-card championship, which he challenged for the TNT title. I think that was a little too soon. Most importantly, I don't see him winning this match at all, and I think that was a poor decision for them to put him in this situation right now. Simply because he hasn't had any wins under his belt. I think he should have went after a different opponent. Like a heel character or some shit. But Jay Lethal going after the TNT championship right out of the gate, I don't agree with. And if they make him win the title, I'm going to even be more pissed. Because Sammy Guevara has been doing some amazing shit. He actually did some really cool shit in that street fight that I was just talking about. But him losing that title to Jay Lethal would be the worst thing they could possibly do. And what they're doing with Jay Lethal is no service to him either. I don't agree with this decision. I think it's a great match on paper, but with the fact that it's Jay Lethal's first match, I don't particularly like the idea at all. I think it's bad. Bobby Fish would have been a good opponent because Bobby Fish is not being utilized in any way, shape, or form of importance on this program. But him to challenge for the TNT Championship, don't like it as the situation goes, as I already mentioned. But on paper, like I said, I think it's a cool match, but it should have been saved for maybe like a pay-per-view type of event. These two guys competing on Dynamite, I don't know. But whatever. And then we had the main event. The main event, folks, was an excellent main event. I have no complaints about this main event in any way, shape, or form. This was pay-per-view written all over it. And it wasn't the ending that, Page getting that victory over Kenny Omega that surprised the hell out of me. They had Matt Jackson and they had a clear opportunity to stop Hangman Page from winning this match, and they didn't. They let him finish the match, and whatever happened would happen. He got the nod from Matt Jackson, and he said, "Do it, man. Get your win." He didn't stop him. He was fair. And Nick Jackson wasn't even anywhere near Matt Jackson at any point in time. He was on the other side of the ring. And he just went ahead and said, "Yep, you're the man. Do it." And he gets the win with the buckshot lariat and gets the 1, 2, 3. The rest of the match was just exactly how I figured it would go. Back and forth stuff. Kenny Omega did have an advantage over him throughout most of this match, though. But Hangman Page eventually picks up the victory and gets the 1, 2, 3. I really thought there was a couple of times that Hangman Page was going to get screwed. And folks, if that would have happened, I would have came on here and probably told you I'm done with fucking YouTube. I know that sounds harsh and that sounds crazy, but professional wrestling needs a new face in pro wrestling to be a world champion. And Hangman Page is one of those people. And thankfully, AEW did the right thing, gave him the title, and now we get to see what they do with him being world champion. So hopefully things turn out very well. This match I'm giving a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed seeing the nod by Matt Jackson, giving him the okay, and going forth and doing it. This is definitely going to play into Kenny Omega being kicked out of the Elite by Adam Page and the Young Bucks. This should be pretty entertaining, and we're probably going to see a new version of the Undisputed Era through the Super Click. That's the way I see it. As crazy as this may sound, we're going to have 2 tag teams in the Super Click, or the Elite, whatever they prefer calling themselves. I guess the Super Click is just Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson with Adam Cole. But the Elite is going to have 2 major tag teams included in this group, and that's the Young Bucks and Red Dragon with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and then Adam Hangman Page in the forefront as the leader of the group. I think that's a great idea. Don Callis probably is going to take a seat somewhere else. I don't know what he's going to be doing. Maybe he'll do commentary. He's pretty good on commentary. Anyway, I think he's played out his role with Kenny Omega. I think Kenny Omega is going to become a face at some point after they give him some time off to relax and rest from injuries. But yeah, that's the way I see that going down. And again, this is a 4.5 out of 5-star match in my opinion. So anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. Again, I am extremely tired. This has been a long fucking night. So hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, of course. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.